Hyderabad Press Club స్వర్ణోత్సవాలను ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారం ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
So I turned on pressman and I said, "Gentlemen, is there anything wrong in seeing of my wife?" That is the question that I raised. I said, otherwise I had nothing, but I said, I'm not seeing of my wife, isn't it? So I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So there are a few comments that I would like to lay out here. And as I told you, more as a friend, not as a governor. As a very personal friend, of course. You all know me that I have been media shy. That is because over the last 35 years, I have been away from media. I have never met the media. Though I have had the best of friends in the media circles in New Delhi, in the capital, there's practically no press editor whom I have not known or interacted socially or on a personal level, but not unfortunately on an official level because of the job responsibility that I had carried. I became a public man only after I came into Chhattisgarh. And thereafter I realized that every word that I say carries some meaning, unfortunately. It is interpreted as something which comes from the governor's mouth. So thereafter I started being very careful. And so, for example, I recall in one of my, I'm sure Mr. Ramarao will pardon me for saying this, on December 31st, while I was in a location, when pressmen asked me, sir, I think December 30th, they said, sir, tomorrow, that is December 31st, the Sri Krishna Commission will be submitting its report. What happens thereafter? I thought for a while. I said, after December 31st, will be January 1st. I know it hurt people, but because I had no other answer to give him. If I had given him any other answer, I would have been misinterpreted. But even when I said January 1, even that was misinterpreted by many people. I'm thankful to them for that, for giving me a lesson in that. There's a few small points that I would like to bring to this August gathering. Just as we were sitting there, this for your consideration and thought process. I would like to sort of excite your thought process. The music decibel was a little high. And Mr. Ramanachari said, please tone down. He just said, please tone down. That is what he said when the sound was a little high. Thereafter, when the dancers came here, I asked him, Ramanachari Garu, are these from the media? They said, no, sir. The media only makes people dance. They are not the dancers. They are artists. Third thing, when we came here to light the lamp, normally, lamp lighting is a very difficult process in many places. Even this morning when I was there, we were struggling because there was breeze and you would not come, etc. The lamp would not light because of various problems. But I said the media knows how to light a lamp or how to light a fire. It was so easy. First touch of it and there it caught fire. I said this is the Hyderabad press meeting. So I think they know how to light a fire much easily than all of us. Fourth is that we, unfortunately, as you see even on this occasion, you are almost like behind the curtains. We are in the glare of the media. You see all of us sitting here in the glare, whereas you people are sitting behind comfortably. That's, of course, one of our good luck propositions, that we are always in the glare and you are always behind. These few things I would like to put to you, to just think over it. And in this competition of Aaj ki khabar kal, or Kal ki khabar Aaj, I do not know whether we are running a rat race. Everything is only breaking news. Is there no other news excepting breaking news? And we keep breaking the news so much that I think at some point there will be nothing left at all excepting breaking news. I do not know whether we should really change this nomenclature. Because everything is a breaking news. The governor is today in a blue suit is a breaking news. Like I remember on one occasion when I came out of the Union Home Ministry in Delhi after a meeting, somebody said, sir, please give us a bite. I said, yes, I had a good bite with the Home Minister. That was my bite, unfortunately, nothing beyond that. Well, what I want to really bring for you, ladies and gentlemen, is the media is always considered a fourth estate. The fourth estate does not mean that you are not part of society. In fact, you are the most important segment of society. That I think you should understand. Because you people think that being a fourth estate means you live in an estate of your own, away from society. That is not the case. You are an important segment of society, you are members of society, and you have a responsibility for society. The government can do only thus far and no further. It is for all of us to be part of governance. You are the societal responsibility of governance is something that this country has to realize sooner than later. If you think that it is only the responsibility of the government and that you and I have no responsibility at all, I don't think we are going to succeed. The societal responsibility in governance, and particularly that of the media, I think is extremely important. Criticism, yes, it is your duty to criticize because you see so many things outside which are not available, which is not normally known to us because we are sitting in air-conditioned rooms. But you go out on the ground. You please criticize. But then also with the criticism, will you give us some suggestions? There's no use of just criticizing. Give us some suggestions. We'll welcome the suggestions. When you write an article of criticizing a certain thing, give us suggestions on how to come over it. And why don't you do a more detailed study of a particular issue? Rather than writing a fly-by-night of an article, one night it's written, next day it's forgotten. Why? Why don't you undertake a detailed study all it? You want to take something on the education sector, on the health sector, on some other sector. Go into a detailed study and come out with your suggestions, saying this is the state of affairs. Would you like to consider the following steps, 1, 2, 3? Or later on, as you say, if your press club is going to have a debate, invite the government people and say, sir, this is what we have. This is our report that we'd like to read on the education sector or the health sector, whatever sector it is. We have done a detailed study. So why don't you take the following corrective measures? This is the responsibility that I would like the media to take on. Criticism is very easy. I can always criticize you, you can criticize me. But it doesn't end there. Because you and I will have to ultimately benefit from the criticism. Criticism for criticism purpose does not serve anybody's good. It is really worthless. So I would like you to really give us constructive suggestions and not just keep criticizing. Criticism for criticism, I think, is unhealthy competition. Sometimes one gets a feeling whether the media is torn between various forces. And because of that inevitability of tearing apart from these pieces, you just have to write something. Another issue that I would like to put forth before you is, look at the coverage that we had in the 9/11 and 26/11 episodes. From the 26/11 episodes, people were taking advantage. Anti-nationals were taking advantage and knowing what was happening. And look at the way 9/11 was being covered. Tributes were being paid to the way it was being handled by the agencies. I think, don't you think you and I have a responsibility? After all, it is your own countrymen. You and I have a responsibility. Or look at the IC-917 hijacking that happened where the flight was taken off to Kandahar. And look at there was simultaneous hijacking that took place in England. And I found the Home Secretary, the police chief, and 3 persons were present on the table. The press was there. The man says, gentlemen, there was a hijacking this morning of flight number British Airways so-and-so flight, flying from here to there. There are so many passengers on board, so many this thing. At the moment, this is all that we have to tell you. Efforts are on to release the hijackers, to sort of neutralize the hijackers. Thank you very much. Out. That's it. I mean, do you see a difference between that sort of a coverage and the type of coverage that we like to give? Is there a need to sensationalize everything? Is there a need? Yes, it is good entertainment, probably, entertainment once, but then the other problems, I think this 24/7, I think has already become a very big burden on all of you, because you have to say something to the other. And actually what happens is you almost brainwash us when we see a TV, because the same thing is repeated. At the end of it, probably at night when you go to sleep, you're probably in a dream, so you might only get that horrific scene. I'm sorry for being very blunt about it, but this is a fact of life.